What's going on, guys? It's your boy Premier coming back at you with another video. And don't judge my Christmas tree, I promise it's coming down this week. But I have some real good news to share with you guys. I passed the PNPT exam. So the bags are finally going away, as you can tell, and no haircut yet, but I mean, it's coming soon. I wanted to keep this content as authentic as possible, and so I mean, what better way is there than by showing you all, how I look post hibernation, post study mode, post grind, whatever you want to call it. And so as of today, February 4th, 2022, I am PNPT certified practical network penetration tester. I took my exam last week, so the last week of January, and had my debriefing with Heath Adams on Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. So before I get into my personal exam experience, I wanted to take a few moments to actually break down the exam structure. The PNPT has been gaining a lot of traction lately, yet some people still seem to be unfamiliar. So with that being said, if you do know and are familiar with the exam, feel free to click on one of the time intervals below to skip ahead, but if not, let's get right into a breakdown. So the PNPT, or Practical Network Penetration Tester exam or certification, was developed by TCM Security. It pretty much has the overall objective of assessing a student's ability to perform a network penetration test at a professional level. So about the exam, I won't read all of this verbatim, but pretty much you have 5 full days to complete the assessment and an additional 2 days to write the report. In terms of the breakdown or overview of the exam itself, it's really comprised into 3 parts, I would say personally. That's OSINT, external, and internal. Now, if and when you do compromise the domain controller, you move into the final portion of the exam, which is the report writing portion, in which you have to professionally write a report, document all of your findings, the vulnerabilities, pretty much the entire process. Have screenshots, of course, for proof of concept, and then finally debrief the report in front of Heath Adams himself. And so lastly, and probably the most important factor for each of us, is the pricing, right? How much does the exam cost? So you have 2 different pricing options. One is going to be $299, and that is going to come with the exam voucher itself, as well as 1 free retake if you fail. And the other is $399. It comes with the voucher, the retake, as well as 5 additional training modules. So without going into too much detail, here are the categories of modules you'll receive. Practical ethical hacking, which is pretty much all of the fundamentals, methodologies, concepts that you should need during the exam. You have Linux Priv-esque for beginners, Windows Priv-esque for beginners, open source intelligence fundamentals, as well as the external pen test playbook. Now personally, I needed the PEH module, I did need the OSINT fundamental module, and I did need the external pen test playbook module. Now everyone's skill set and approach is going to be different, and depending on where you are in your ethical hacking career or path or skill set, you may not need any of the modules. You might need all the modules. Just as somewhat of an Easter egg, Linux and Windows Priv escalation is, briefed during the practical ethical hacking training module, and so I decided not to go down those paths. However, I will be revisiting them in the near future. I won't dive too deep into any of the modules. However, I will link them all in the description, so if you're interested in the training or what they offer, please feel free to review at your own time. Now, as I mentioned previously in this video, this is a fairly new exam. Although it was created by individuals we respect and individuals that are very reputable, I still took it upon myself to conduct some research just to make sure I wasn't wasting any money. I looked at Twitter posts, I looked at LinkedIn posts, I looked on different internet blogs just to try to get a better understanding of other individuals' experiences. And I've got to say, there were absolutely no negative comments or no negative feedback, and that's actually what I tried to look for on the internet about this exam. And so immediately, that led to my final decision of purchasing the exam with training. And I've got to say, man, after the 25 hours of, training, you practically feel like Heath at that point. It's a great experience. It's just an overall great experience. So I know there are also some questions and comments out there regarding or related to whether or not this is a beginner-friendly exam. So I'm here to tell you it is. I had no prior CTF or Hack the Box or Try Hack Me experience prior to this exam. I went based off the TCM provided training that I purchased. And so just if I can just show you guys quickly how much of a beginner I was or am, I actually had a category within my cherry tree application that helped me with Linux commands. I had to learn the operating system as I took the exam, as I prepared for the exam. That's personally how I prefer to learn, but everyone's different. Once I enrolled into the PEH course, as you can see here, from OSINT all the way down to Active Directory, post-compromise attacks, these were all the notes that I took, and all the, different subnodes, right, in each. So that helped me break down the exam and break down the actual ethical hacking process, as I took the exam. And if I haven't mentioned or isn't obvious quite yet, the exam is open book, so you can refer back to your notes and you can refer back to video modules and even YouTube videos, during your exam. I don't think at any point in time, well, sorry, let me not say I don't think. I was stressed during the exam multiple different times. I was stuck multiple different times. I was discouraged multiple times. But I think 5 days is more than enough time, right, to kind of, balance that stress, if that makes sense. And you're not being proctored, right? No one's watching you. You're not limited to certain tools. So aside from the certain tools or specific tools you may learn about within the training modules themselves, there are additional tools out there, right, that may be able to help you, throughout this exam more than what Heath shows you. But once again, everyone's different. I'm just starting out. So I took everything sort of verbatim, thought outside the box a little bit, put the concepts together myself, and, was able to pass the exam. And so without ruining the integrity of the exam, I still wanted to provide you all with a breakdown. And so initially when you start, you're sent a email that contains the VPN file to help you connect to the environment, the rules of engagement, some word lists to help you brute force throughout the exam, as well as the objectives that allow you to pass. In terms of the exam itself, I broke it down into 5 different parts: OSINT, external, internal, report writing, and of course the debrief. So OSINT, information gathering, is going to save you here, of course, both passive and active. External, you're going to want to find those initial footholds, those low-hanging fruits, of course, and scan the network. Internal, as you probably heard, this exam heavily focuses on Active Directory. So enumeration here, of course, is going to be critical. Knowing how to, privilege escalate is also going to be critical. So hint, hint, maybe invest in that Windows PrivS course that they provide, as well as maintaining access. Report writing. Report writing is very important, so important that they give you those additional 2 days to focus on it. As a Easter egg, they do provide you with a report template to help you, categorize your findings. So during this process, you're going to want to go over your found vulnerabilities, maybe identify the level of criticalities across the vulnerabilities, and provide possible remediations and or recommendations. And finally, of course, the debrief, in which you connect via Google Meet with Heath Adams and explain to him basically your entire report. And so that pretty much sums up this entire video. In a few moments, you guys are actually going to be able to watch a speed run of my exam experience. But before we get into that, I'd actually like to announce a giveaway. The PNPT exam helped me realize a lot of my capabilities, some of my strengths, some of my weaknesses, but more importantly, it gave me a direction in terms of what skill set I need to focus on next. And so as an act of kindness and just to contribute back to the community, I'd like to raffle off an exam voucher with hopes that whoever acquires, whoever wins, gains the same experience that I received. The only incentive, of course, is going to be that you join my Discord server for organizational purposes, because there it will actually be a giveaway channel that you can react to have your name automatically drawn. Today is February 4th, Friday, February 4th, and I'm going to allow the draw to go for about a week. And so Friday, February 11th, a winner will be chosen, and you will be contacted directly with your new voucher. And also, last but not least, if you've enjoyed this content, please be sure to subscribe, like, comment. It's never mandatory, of course, and never hesitate to reach out to me in the comments or through any of my available social medias found below. And so if you're preparing for your exam, I hope this video benefited you greatly. Good luck, and if you've passed, cheers.